you spoke about it had been a while since you hoisted a trophy. So
Yeah.
having had that to start this season, could you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's cool. Winning anything is cool, and those IMSA guys are no joke. It's a tough field. So getting a win with my buddy Zane was really cool, and it's a good confidence booster, I'd say. I guess, right? You come in and win a race, and I don't know, winning anything's good. It makes you feel good. So as a competitor, it was fun, and I don't know how much it'll translate to. Oh man, now I feel like I'm gonna win the 500 because I won that, right? But I think there is everything that you do kind of builds to something else, right? So there is some of that, but the skills are very different and all that. So there's confidence for me on my next road course, I think, is the biggest thing, and I'm excited to try and apply the things I learned in that car to the Cup car.
Do you guys, when you come into a season, do you set like specific goals? I want this many top 5s, this many top 10s. I want to improve such and such on this type of track. How do you go about that?
Yeah, I think every team is different, right? I think our team, we have a goal system for everybody, right? So the crew guys can strive for something, I can strive for something, and we all are kind of working in the same direction. So we have some written goals out. Nothing like, I want to have 20 top 10s by the end of the year, right? But more along the lines of, overall goals and how do we kind of approach each race weekend? What are the results from each race weekend? And, obviously there's some broader goals like make the playoffs, things like that we want to do. But we like to have bets at our team. I remember Bristol, my crew chief and I had a bet. If the front bumper had more damage, he had to buy a dinner. If the rear bumper had more damage, I had to buy dinner. So I won that bet, so that was a good one to win. And things like that keep it fun. So we kind of do a little bit of both, serious goals, and then, one goal is not to flip this year in the 500. So we'll try and keep all 4 on the ground.
What did you learn through the 36, 38 races last year that you like about a setup that is going to make a car good for you?
Yeah, I think the Cup cars were really kind of wild at first because no one really knew what they wanted. I remember there was a few races where I thought I'd be good and the car was feeling good in practice, and it didn't translate to the race as well as I wanted.
Right now, is it more? Are you feeling pressure? Are you feeling confident or comfortable with where you're at? What is your mindset? Right
Yeah,
now?
I mean, I feel comfortable where I'm at. I guess I accept where I'm at. Right, I'm in a point where I need to run better than I did last year. There's no doubt about that. For not only my race team, but for myself. I mean, the beginning of last year was not good and not good enough by any means. So I think there's not a single person in the room that would say it was, and I'm a part of that group. So how do we improve that? How do we make that better? And I feel like this year there's not pressure because of that. It's almost less pressure this year because I understand the scenario. I understand what I have to do. And I know the series now, and I know the cars now, and now I can just go to work, right? I can understand that I have notes to go rely on instead of just showing up to the racetrack and guessing. So, yeah, I mean, there's not. To me, it's honestly, I feel less pressure right now, which I don't know if that mathematically makes sense, but it should, it's just how it is. I feel more confident this year I can go out and make things happen and understand the right things to do.
So what would be a benchmark or a goal for this year in terms of, where do you set the bar?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously want to continue to improve off of last year, and you want to set goals that are steps along the way, right? So the goals at the end of the year might be different than the goals at the beginning of the year, but I think the overarching goal is I want to win a race and I want to make the playoffs. I think those are 2 obtainable goals for our race team. We've got great guys. I believe in myself as a driver. The pieces are in front of us. We just have to go do it. And so, those are my 2 goals by the end of the season I really want to have done. And if not, obviously there's, you can say you want to do it, but it's a matter of if you do it. So, we'll see how it goes. But for me as a driver, that's what I want to do for sure.
What are races that you may have circled that you think give you the best chance to get that win?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten in trouble in my past where I'd circle these races. Maybe I'd won there last year or whatever it might be, right? And man, I feel great about this race because of this and that. And then you put all your eggs in that basket, right? And then you prepare for those maybe a little different than you would the ones that you don't have circled. And then all of a sudden it kind of stacks up on you when you don't win that race, right? Because you can't just pick when you're going to win. It's in this level of the sport, it's, a pretty big feat to win one of these cup races. So for me, I think the best thing I can do is take it week by week and give myself a fair shot at every racetrack. Last year, I would have not expected a road course to be my best finish, but it was. And so, trying to just maintain that, next week is the most important week mentality, I think is really big, especially in a season this long. You never know what could happen in this many races.
Last year, you obviously flipped in the Daytona 500 while getting pushed from Brad Keselowski, and you were running up front during that race. Are you still going to take the strategy of trying to run up front as much as you can, or are you going to lay back?
I think there's a balance there, and it's tough because obviously it didn't work for me last year, but I want to still maintain track position. I think that matters more in these races than people give it credit for. You look at the guys that run up front, they're normally up there for a reason. You see guys that like a Denny Hamlin or a Joey Logano, guys that win a lot of Superspeedway races. What are they doing? They're being aggressive and going and making runs and showing people that their cars are quick. And they obviously have a lot of experience to do those things and make good things happen. So, I don't know. There's a really tough balance there where you want to have your risk versus reward early in the race, no doubt. Obviously, we stepped over the risk versus reward boundary last year and flipped and all that. But, I don't know that your mindset has to change after one crash in these kind of races because of the fact that I feel like almost you could try the same strategy 5 times and get 5 different results here. So, trying to just understand that we have to make the best decisions in the moment that we can and then move on.
This is Harrison Burton, driver the number 21. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out one of these 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.